But this guy, I absolutely love him. He is one of the most beautiful snakes I think I've ever seen. His name is Salazar. Yes, the Harry Potter reference comes through. But he is a Dumeril's ground boa constrictor from Madagascar. That's actually the only place in the world that you can find this snake. And to kind of describe the pattern on his scales, it looks like, actually one of your staff members best described it, it almost looks like flowers that have fallen on the ground. He's got beautiful browns and tans and almost this rosy pink color on his back, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And if you can picture him kind of slithering along the ground in the forests of Madagascar, he looks absolutely like what the ground would look like. He blends right in.
He looks like he's almost got two different colors, because you look at the top here, it's a lot darker, and then like right around on his side and on his belly, it's a lot. It just goes like a lot lighter all of a sudden.
Absolutely, and it does. He doesn't have to be camouflaged on the bottom, because of course they can't really go anywhere. Their bottom is usually on the ground, and so from the top he has to be camouflaged to predators, and so that's what makes his top camouflage. Now his bottom, those scales, those long scales on a snake's belly are called scoots. And they do help the snake scoot around, and they're longer. On this guy, they're white almost, with some brown spots, but they actually are loose on one end of them, and so it kind of acts like a pulley system, and that's how a snake can move. They kind of do a pulley system with their scoot scales on the bottom, and this guy is surprisingly fast for no arms and legs.
But he can scoot. Speaking of moving fast, our second animal is starting to get away.
Yeah, he can't get far, I promise you. I'm pretty good at tortoise wrangling.
He's checking out the corner. This is, I think, besides the cool night owl that you brought me a couple times ago, I definitely like this guy right here. A giant tortoise. And we're totally going to get video of him nom-nomming the heck out of a strawberry. Now, who's this guy?
This is Shiloh, and Shiloh is actually a red-footed tortoise, and his feet aren't strikingly red, but actually if you look, he has red spotted scales all over his legs and his feet, and so that makes him a red-footed tortoise. He lives in the rainforest, the tropical areas of South America, and this is about top speed for him. He doesn't move very fast, but he doesn't really need to. That shell that he has to protect himself is really heavy, and so it really weighs him down, and he can't move very fast. Now, the reason I brought a strawberry today is because the cones and rods in his eyes, which help you see color, his are arranged in such a way where he can only see a few colors, and he sees reds and oranges really, really well.
That's why he's checking out your shirt right now. He's like, oh, that looks delicious.
I did. I wore my red shirt today. But, so the flowers, things that he sees in the rainforest, he absolutely can see those and go for them. I'll give him a little piece of strawberry now just to tide him over. But I have to tell you...
Oh, he got a little scary. That's the fastest motion. He shot his head right back in there. Can he get his head all the way in there?
He can get just about all of it. The very tip stays out. There he goes.
Nom, 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 nom.
Eating that strawberry. Now... tortoises...
Oh, wow, he's doing work on that thing.
They don't have teeth. What they have are they have beaks, almost like a parrot beak, and they have kind of this sharp edge around their beak, and that's what he's doing. He's turning that strawberry into strawberry mush and swallowing. Now, the best thing, I have to tell you this before we leave Shiloh here, is what he eats in the wild. Of course, he eats fruits, veggies, grass, all that good stuff. His favorite food actually is faster than he is, so he has to have a special method to catch his food. He'll produce a liquid in his eyes, almost like tears. And he'll start to cry, and you'll see this liquid come out of his eyes. It attracts butterflies. He loves to eat butterflies. So what happens are these butterflies smell or sense this liquid on his eyes, fly right to his head, land on his head, and it's like a meal to go. He just snaps, eats those butterflies. I tell kids that it's like if I were to cry, and a large pizza would fly to my face, and I could eat it.
If we could only dream. In a perfect world, fantastic. I could try, and boom, I would have pizza right there for me to enjoy.
Exactly. So that's one of the coolest things about this guy. He catches his food by crying, basically.
Is he ill-tempered? If I try to touch him, is he going to flip out?
You know what? He's not. That's about that's about as active as he gets. But that shell really keeps him safe from some of the larger predators.
That thing's pretty.
It is, and you know what? It's actually just. It's actually just modified scales, just like the scales you would find on his head, on his legs. They've just kind of grown, and they're large, they're heavy, and they keep him safe.
Now the inside, like on the, I was looking, you were holding them up earlier. On his other side, the shell kind of goes like on the inside, so it's perfect when you have a slow-moving animal like this. If you need something to hold chips in or something like that for the game, he's not going anywhere.
You know
he's very slow. Turn him over, he doubles as a chip bowl.
And I tell you what, there's actually a reason. This is a male tortoise, and he does not have to have babies, so he does not have eggs in there, and so his belly scales can actually be concave, and they can scoot in to help protect him. And also, for our adult listeners out there, it helps him stay on a female. They have to have a curved shell. If it was flat, they'd slide right off, and it really wouldn't work. You'd get no baby tortoises.
That's right. It's B1029, your home for everything reproductive tortoise talk.
That's right. It's good to inform you today.
Okay, we're going to take a break. The Columbian Park Zoo and Courtney, and we have one more animal to go over, the softest little guy we've ever seen. This is Shaggy the chinchilla in the studio, right, Court?
Yes, he is. He's here in honor of the cold weather that we've had. This guy is found in the Andes Mountains in South America, this little chinchilla here. And you can tell he lives in the mountains. He's got this beautiful stone gray coat, and he'll sit really still in the crevices and cracks in the mountains and blends right in.
His nose is like a little snout thing is going crazy.
It is, isn't it?
I don't know if it's like a nervous twitch or
he's got, if you can imagine a cat with whiskers to the extreme, his nose never stops moving, and actually that's really important for a chinchilla because they live on such high mountains. They like to come out dawn, dusk, nighttime when there's not a lot of predators, and these whiskers act as basically more fingers for them, and he has to know that when he's jumping and moving, he's going to land on something solid.
And, yeah, he just left something solid right there, it looks like.
He did. At least it's little. I've brought lots worse here before.
Yeah, I'm glad I already got to hold him, because I was holding him and you said, yeah, don't worry about it.
It's all right. You saved it for me, didn't you, Shaggy? But, yeah, those whiskers are really important for him. He's actually got some great little feet. Let me see if I can show you his feet. He's got these really long, almost like kangaroo legs, and he's excellent at jumping from rock to rock. This little guy, if you can imagine, he can, in one leap, just from sitting, he can hop at least 6 feet. Span a 6-foot distance.
That's higher than my dog.
Absolutely so, and that helps him get around, of course, up in the mountains.
What's he eat up there?
He eats any vegetation he can find.
So
little
he's
plants,
vegetables.
little
he's not
things like
bald
that.
eagles or anything.
He's not hunting bald eagles.
Okay.
Actually, some sort of harpy eagles and things like that would be hunting him, which is why it's important for him to blend in. And he has one thing that helps keep him safe in the mountains. Of course, way up there, there's a lot of snow. And when he hops around, he makes all these little cute chinchilla prints. And they're cute, but they lead predators right to him. All they have to do is follow his tracks. So
will you let him out in the snow at the zoo?
We won't. We actually keep him confined because he's really good at getting away, and he's really fast. But in the wild, if he had like some kind of leash or something like that, you're like, "Hey, I want to play in the snow." Little chinchilla leash. We keep him. We actually keep him down where it's really cool in our basement. We have some holding areas down there for the animals. But he's got this. You feel how soft and how absolutely gorgeous his coat is, and then his tail is almost like a Brillo brush. It's really harsh. And what he does is when he hops, he'll wiggle his tail behind him, and he actually erases his footprints from the snow. So he's pretty crafty at making sure that the predators can't get to him.
And he is really soft. We'll be able to see it on the video, hopefully, that we'll put on the website here. So we get the video going of all the animals. And I said, well, chinchilla jacket obviously is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear that, but I did not realize it takes quite a few chinchillas to make one of those.
You know what? It doesn't, and I tell you, the chinchillas are very critically endangered in the wild. There are hardly any left because people were taking them for their coat. And if you can imagine if you look on your arm, a hair on your arm where you have one, a chinchilla has 40 hairs. So you can imagine the density, and it takes 400 chinchillas to make a chinchilla coat.
400?
And so people would basically have these chinchilla farms where they would just farm and raise chinchillas for coats. Bad for chinchillas initially, but now chinchilla farms are one of the main reasons that we still have chinchillas, and they're being re-released into the wild. So it's turned into a good thing.
Oh, okay. Well, Courtney, thank you so much for bringing, there's more.
All right, good job, Shaggy.
We'll put him up here before,
Sorry, we'll take him back to the zoo.
He's pooping all over the place right now.
That's right.
So you can see the video online at b1029.com. We'll get it up this afternoon. Courtney and our animals from the Columbian Park Zoo, thank you so much.
Thanks, Logan. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.